our next gates, that is our XOR and XNOR, and after it we are performing the questions based on all gates, right? So write down the next one, that is our XOR gate, and that is the most important one. XOR and XNOR both are the most important one as per aspect of any exam, right? So first point, symbol for the XOR gate logical expression. On the board please, everyone on the board please. Logical expression for this XOR gate, that is y is equals to a bar b plus ab bar. For the XOR we are having a logical expression, that is a bar b plus ab bar. We know that this expression is in SOP form, right? That expression is in SOP form, right? That expression in SOP form, that function is defined for the two variables. That function is defined for the two inputs. So we can say that these are the min terms. These are the min terms. So if we are have a requirement to find out the POS expression, of XOR gate, so for this we are having a min terms set, that is 0, that is 1, 1, 1, 0, that is 2, right? We are having a min terms at 1 and 2, and when we are having min terms at 1 and 2, we know that excluding these min terms, rest of the terms are our max terms. So if we are having a min terms at 1, 2, so rest of the terms at 0, 3, we are having the max terms. So we are having max terms for this function, that is 0, 3, 0. For the 0 we are writing the max term, that is a plus b, and for the 3 we are writing the max term as a bar plus b bar. For the 0 we are writing the max term, that is a plus b. For the 3 we are writing the max term, that is a bar plus b bar. So the important point is that for the XOR we are having a POS expression, that is a plus b dot a bar plus b bar, and that is our POS expression. So there is a need to remember the SOP as well as POS expression for the XOR. So for the XOR we are having SOP expression, that is a bar b plus ab bar, and for the XOR we are having POS expression, that is a plus b dot a bar plus b bar. Clear? We are having min terms from this SOP, that is 1 and 2, and after 1 and 2 we are having max term at 0, 3, right? For the 0 we are having a plus b, for the 3 we are having a bar plus b bar. So that is our POS expression, right? That is the important part, because at some time you are having an expression after a solution like a plus b dot a bar plus b bar, and we doesn't know that that is the expression of XOR directly. We are trying to solve it out, minimize out, to change it out, right? So we are consuming 2 or 3 steps also for that solution. So to avoiding this, we can directly say that if we are having this expression, that means that is directly our XOR, that is directly our expression of XOR. Clear? Note it down. for the XOR, basically for the XOR we are having, for the XOR we are having an expression that is a bar b plus ab bar. For the XOR we are having expression that is a bar b plus ab bar, right? And that expression is in our SOP form. That expression is in our SOP form. So if we have to find out the POS expression, POS form of that expression in for the XOR gate, so we have to find out that these are the minterms, because that expression is defined for the two inputs, and if we are having a product terms that containing all of the inputs, that means that is our minterm, right? So for this a bar b we are having the minterms that is 1, because we are having 0 and 1. For the 0 1 we are having minterm 1, right? And for this one a b bar we are having 1 0. For 1 0 we are having 2. So finally for this one we are having minterm 1 2, and we know that if we are having a minterm that at 1 and 2, so rest of the terms are having our max terms. So instead of 1 and 2 we are having 0 and 3, we are having 0 and 3. So these are our max terms at 0 3. For the 0 we are having 0 0, that means a plus b. For the 3 we are having boolean we are having binary expression that is 1 1. For the 1 1 we are having a bar plus b bar, a bar plus b bar. So finally for the XOR we are having POS expression that is a plus b dot a bar plus b bar. So the important point is that you have to remember it, keep this in your mind, that the SOP expression for XOR is a bar b plus ab bar, that is the most important. And for the POS expression, if we talk about for the POS expression, that will be a plus b dot a bar plus b bar. So the important thing is that with the SOP expression you have to remember the POS expression also for the XOR, that is a plus b dot a bar plus b bar, right? So we are having SOP a bar b plus ab bar, and POS that is a plus b dot a bar plus b bar. Now if we are talking about the truth table for the XOR, if we are talking about the truth table, at the 0 0, at the 0 0 we are getting 0, at the 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 0. That means for the XOR gate, if we are having the same input, then the output will be at logic 0. That means for the XOR gate, if we are having the both of the inputs are at same logic, that means the output will be 0. If we are having both of the inputs at 0 1 or 1 0, that means the output will be 1. So when a is equals to b, y is equals to 0, and when we are having a is not equals to b, y is equals to 1, right? So for the XOR, if we are having the same input, that means output will be 0. If we are having the different input, complemented input, that means output will be at logic 1. Note it down. Then we are having a note regarding this point. write it down in the note. It is also called, it stands for XOR gate, right? It is also called as, odd function. It is also called as odd function because whenever odd number of inputs are at logic 1, then the output is at logic 1. Right? So according to that note, that the another name for XOR is odd function, right? So in digital subject, whenever you are getting the term odd function, that means it talks about the XOR gate, right? That is linked with the XOR gate, right? Odd function is another name for the XOR gate. Actually, in some of the questions in exams also, that you are having a circuit and after the simplification you are getting the expression that is XOR, having a XOR, right? But in the options you are having a option that is odd function instead of XOR. You are having a option that is odd function in your 4 options, right? So if we know that XOR is our odd function, then we can easily take that odd function is our answer, right? So in our digital subject, whenever you are getting that odd function, that means it is your XOR gate, right? How we can say that is your odd function? That is whenever we are having odd number of inputs, when we are having odd number of inputs are at logic 1, then our output will be logic 1, otherwise it is at logic 0. So we are having no 1 in the input, so output will be 0. We are having a single 1, that is odd 1, so we are having odd number of time 1 in the input, that means output will be 1. For this one we are having odd number of time input as 1, that means output will be 1. For this position, for this combination, we are having both of the input, that means we are having input even number of inputs are at logic 1. For this combination we are having even number of combinations, even number of ones, right? So our output will be logic 0, right? That is for the 2 input, 3 input, 4 input, 5 input, right? So when we are performing the XOR gate, if we are having odd number of inputs at logic 1 in our truth table, in our function, that means we are having the output that is at logic 1, otherwise we are having the output at logic 0, right? That is our first note in your XOR gate. Next point, on the board please. We are writing many of the notes in this XOR gate, right? In this topic XOR gate, right? And each and every note is the important in aspect of our questions calculations or theoretical calculations, right? So focusing on every note that we are covered in XOR gate, because all of the notes are play an important role in the solution of our questions based on XOR gate, right? On the board, guys, if we are having A XOR 0, if we are having A XOR 0, A XOR 0, that is equals to A XOR 0, that is equals to A. A XOR 0 is equals to A. Simply we are having a formula A bar B plus AB bar. Put these values in this formula. We are having that is A, that is B. So we are having A bar into 0, that is 0. For this one we are having A and complement of 0, that is 1, that means A. So finally for A XOR 0 we are having A. If we are talking about for A XOR 1, A XOR 1, that is A bar. A XOR 1, that is A bar. If we are talking about A XOR A, A XOR A, that is both are the same input, both are the same input, and for the XOR gate if we are having same input then the output will be 0. For the same input in the XOR gate we are having the output at logic 0 directly. If we are having A XOR A bar, A XOR A bar, the output will be, if we are having complemented inputs, if we are having complemented inputs, then the output will be logic 1. For the same input 0, for the complemented inputs logic 1. A XOR 0 will be A XOR 1 will be A bar. You have to remember this. That is the very important note that will help you out in the questions of XOR gate. A XOR 0 A XOR 1 A bar, A XOR A, same input 0, A XOR A bar 1. Next one, next note, there is a property if A XOR B is equals to C, if A XOR B is equals to C, then A XOR C is equals to B, or B XOR C is equals to A, right? On the board, guys, suppose we are having A XOR B is equals to C. When we are performing the XOR operation of A and B, we are supposed to be the answer will be C. So when we are performing a XOR operation with one of the input with C, when we are performing supposed to be A XOR C, means XOR with A with C, the answer will be B. If we are performing XOR of B and C, then the answer will be A, right? So according to this note, if we are having A XOR B is equals to C, then if we are performing a XOR operation of this output with any of these inputs, then the output will be the remaining input. If we are performing C XOR of C with A, then the remaining output will be B. So that is our output. If we are performing the XOR operation of C with B, then the remaining input is A. So our output will be A. That is the property of XOR, that if we are having A XOR B is equals to C, then if we performing A XOR C, then our output will be B. If we are performing B XOR C, then our output will be A, right? Check it out on the board, guys. If we are performing A XOR A bar, A XOR A bar, that is 1, that is 1. If we are making a XOR of 1 with A, if we are having a XOR 1 with A, that means A XOR 1, then the output will be A bar. then the output will be A bar. That is right. That is right. Right. If we are performing a XOR 0 is equals to A XOR 0 is equals to A. When we are having a XOR with A XOR A XOR A, then the output will be 0. Then the output will be 0. It is also the same. Right. So in this way, this property will follows that A XOR B is equals to C, then A XOR C is equals to B, or B XOR C is equals to A. That property is A XOR B is equals to C, right? So if we are having performing a B XOR C, if we are performing B XOR C, then the output will be A. Then the output will be A. If we are performing A XOR C, if we are performing A XOR C, then the output will be B. Then the output will be B, right? We are getting from here that if we are performing A XOR A bar, A XOR A bar, then the output will be 1. If we are performing A XOR 1, if we are performing A XOR 1, then the output will be A bar. That is this one. So this property follows, right? So if we are having A XOR B, then if we are making a XOR operation with any of the input, any one of the input, then the output will be the remaining input. If we are having a XOR of this output with any of one of the input, then our output will be the remaining second input. If we are having a XOR with A, then the remaining output is B. Our answer is B. If we are performing the XOR with C with B, then our remaining output will be A. That is our output will be A. That is your this note, right? Next one. Next note. Write down. Write down. XOR gate. XOR gate. XOR gate is always available. XOR gate is always available with only two input gate. XOR gate is always available with only two input gate. XOR gate is always available with only two input gate, right? That means if we are having A XOR B XOR C, if we are having A XOR B XOR C, so this implementation will be the wrong one. This implementation is the wrong one, right? The correct implementation is the XOR gate is always available with two input. That means we have to perform first of all the XOR of A and B, then we are performing the XOR of with the C. That is your right implementation method, right? So XOR gate, even XNOR gate, XOR gate also even XNOR gate, both of the gates that are available with only two input, while AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gates that are available for any number of the inputs, right? But in the XOR XNOR we are applying only two inputs, like that. These are our two input gate. That's why in starting we are mentioning XOR XNOR comparison gates. That's why we are mentioned that here that XOR XNOR are comparison gates, and for the comparison we are having two inputs only, right? For the comparison we are having a requirement of two inputs only, right? So XOR XNOR, that both gates are your two input gate. So such type of implementation is not the right implementation. For A XOR B XOR C, that is your right implementation, due to XOR gate is your two input gate. Clear? That is your next note. Right? Now our next point. Commutative and associative law. Commutative and associative law for the XOR. Commutative and associative law for the XOR. Commutative, A XOR B or B XOR A. A XOR B or B XOR A. Both are the same. Both are having the same expression. That means commutative law follows. Commutative law follows. For the associative, we are having B XOR C. B XOR C having a XOR with A. We are having A XOR B having a XOR with C. We are having B XOR C having a XOR with A, and A XOR B having a XOR with C, right? both are, if both are same, that means associative law follows for the XOR gate. If both are having not a same expression, that means associative law does not follows for the XOR gate. So here we have to check it out that both expressions are same or not, right? We are having ABC, the three inputs, that is 0 0 0 0 0 1. Total we are having 8 combinations. Total we are having 8 combinations for 3 inputs, right? So first of all, if we are performing B XOR C, first of all, if we are performing B XOR C, so for the B XOR C, this one, right? This one, that is 0, that is 1, that is 1, that is 0, that is 0, that is 1, that is 1, that is 0. Clear? Right? For the same input 0, for the complement input 1, that is your B XOR C, right? For A XOR B, for A XOR B, A XOR B, A XOR B, for this one, right? We are having 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0. For A XOR B, we are having 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0, right? Now if we are performing A XOR B XOR C, now if we are performing A XOR B XOR C, that means this one, right? Then it will be A B XOR C, 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1, right? A 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1, right? Now we are having A XOR B XOR C, and now we have to perform A XOR B with C, XOR between these. If that is the same output, that is for this one, that means both are the same, right? So for this one, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 1, and we are observing that both are having the same output, both are having the same output, and that is the same output indicates that both are the having a same expression. And when both are having the same expression, that means associative law follows for the XOR gate. Associative law follows for the XOR gate. Associative basically defines that the order of XOR operation doesn't matter, right? Means if we are performing A XOR B XOR C, so as we know that XOR is our 2-input gate, XOR is our 2-input gate, so we have to perform first of all A XOR B, then XOR with C, or we have to perform B XOR C, then XOR with A, or we have performed A XOR C first, then XOR with the B, right? All of them having the same answer. That means order doesn't matter when the gate follows the associative property, right? When gate doesn't follows the associative property, that means we have to perform the operation according to that given order only, right? So XOR is also follows your associative law. Means till we have AND gate, OR gate and XOR gate that follows the associative law, and NAND gate and NOR gate that are the gate that doesn't follows the associative law. Clear? Note it down quickly. Okay. Next point, that is our control input. Control input for the XOR gate. Control input for the XOR gate, right? When we are having control input as 0, that means we are having A XOR 0, that is equals to A XOR 0, that is equals to A. When we are having control input as 1, that we are having A XOR 1, that is equals to A bar. A XOR 1, that is equals to A bar. So finally, when we are having control input 0, we are having A XOR 0, that is A. When we are having control input 1, that means we are having A XOR 1, that is A bar. That means for the control input 0, this act as a buffer, and for the control input is 1, it act as a inverter. Means for the control input 0, XOR gate act as a buffer. That means the input applied here is transmitted to the output at the same level, right? Y is equals to A. When we are having control input 1, that means the XOR gate act as an inverter. That is Y is equals to A bar. That means we are getting the complemented input at the output, right? So for the XOR gate, we are having control input 0, output Y is equals to A. When we are having control input 1, Y is equals to A bar. Note, will be, suppose we are having a function f a b c, or I can write it out. Yes. suppose we are having a function f a b c, that is a XOR b XOR c. Function f a b c, that is a XOR b XOR c, and supposed to be that we have to find out the, we want to find out the minterms. We have to find out the minterms for this function, for this expression a XOR b XOR c. So simply we know that right, for 3 inputs we are having total 8 combinations, and we know that XOR is our odd function. XOR is our odd function. Odd function means when we are having odd number of inputs are at logic 1, then our output will be at logic 1. So at here we are having output at logic 0 because none of the input are at logic 1. For this one we are having a single input at logic 1, that means odd number of input is at logic 1, that means output is 1. Same here, we are having odd number of input is at logic 1, output will be 1. At here we are having even number of inputs are at logic 1, that means output will be 0. At here we are having odd number of inputs are at logic 1, that means output will be at logic 1. Even 0, even number of 1 0, odd number of 1 1. So in this way we can directly access the minterms for any number of variables that performing the XOR expression. If we are talking about the a XOR b XOR c, if we are having odd number of inputs among these 3, then the output will be at logic 1, otherwise we are having output as logic 0. So if we are writing about the minterms, that means minterms are where the output is at logic 1. So we are having the minterms at 1, 2, 4 and 7. 1, 2, 4 and 7. We know that for the XOR gate we are having a odd function. We call it odd function. Why? Whenever we are having odd number of inputs are at logic 1, whenever we are having odd number of inputs are at logic 1, then our output will be at logic 1. Otherwise we are having output logic 0, right? So for this why we have to perform a XOR b XOR c, means we are performing the XOR of a b c. We are performing the XOR of a b and c. So at here we are having not a single one, that means output is at logic 0. At this combination we are having a single input is at logic 1. Single input means odd number of input is at logic 1, that means output is at logic 1. Odd number of input is at logic 1, output 1. Even number of inputs are at logic 1, output 0. Odd number of input is at logic 1, output 1. Even number of input is at logic 1, output 0. Even number of input is at logic 1, output 0. Odd number of input is at logic 1, output 1. Output 1, right? So for the 3 inputs we are making a 8 combinations, and just we are checking that if we are having odd number of inputs are at logic 1. If we are having odd number of ones in the input, then the output is at logic 1, otherwise the output is at logic 0. And we know that when we are having output at logic 1, we are having the minterms at this place, right? So we are having the minterm, that is 1, 2, 4, 7. 1, 2, 4, 7, right? So if we are having a XOR b XOR c, that is having the minterms A bar B bar C, A bar B C bar, A B bar C bar, A B C. According to 1 2 4 7, 0 0 1 A bar B bar C, 2 means 0 1 0 A bar B C bar, 4 means 1 0 0 A B bar C bar, 7 means 1 1 A B C. So that is having the min terms 1 2 4 7. That is the important point that will be you have to remember it. Then in our digital logic, whenever we are having the min terms 1 2 4 7, whenever we are having the min terms 1 2 4 7, then our minimized expression will be A XOR B XOR C. Or whenever we are having A XOR B XOR C, then our min terms will be 1 2 4 and 7. So we have to remember it instead of solving it again and again by using such type of tables, right? So that is note that for A XOR B XOR C we are having min terms that is 1 2 4 and 7. Our next note linked with this one, with n inputs we are having 2 raised to the power n minus 1 min terms. With n inputs we are having 2 raised to the power n minus 1 min terms. That means if we are talking about A XOR B XOR C, A XOR B XOR C, that means we are having 3 inputs. A XOR B XOR C, that means we are having 3 inputs. That means 2 raised to a 3 minus 1, 2 raised to a 3 minus 1, that is 2 raised to a 2, that is 4. That means we are having number of 4, that is 4 min terms. If we are talking about A XOR B XOR C XOR D, if we are talking about A XOR B XOR C XOR D, A XOR B XOR C XOR D means that we are having 4 inputs. For the 4 inputs, total number of min terms are 2 raised to 4 minus 1, 2 raised to 4 minus 1, that is 2 raised to power 3, 2 raised to 3, that means 8. Means for the A XOR B XOR C XOR D we are having 8 min terms. Clear? So for the XOR, if we are having n inputs, then we are having 2 raised to power n minus 1 min terms. So number of min terms for n inputs for the XOR we are having 2 raised to power n minus 1. Clear? Note it down. Basically second note is that in XOR if we are having n inputs, for the XOR if we are having n inputs, like for this one A XOR B XOR C we are having 3 inputs, right? So the value of n is 3. So for the n inputs we are having 2 raised to power n minus 1 min term. We are having 2 raised to power n minus 1 min term. So for this A XOR B XOR C, the value of n is 3. So we are having 2 raised to 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 yani means 2. So 2 raised to 2, that is 4 minterms. That means for A XOR B XOR C, number of minterms are 4. Number of minterms are 4. Suppose if we are talking about A XOR B XOR C XOR D, A XOR B XOR C XOR D, A XOR B XOR C XOR D means number of inputs are 4. Number of inputs are 4, that means number of minterms are 2 raised to 4 minus 1. 2 raised to 4 minus 1, that is 2 raised to 3. 2 raised to 3, that means 8. So for the A XOR B XOR C, we are having total 8 minterms. So the note is that for the XOR, when we are having n number of inputs, then the total minterms are 2 raised to power n minus 1, where n is the number of inputs, right? So that we are having A XOR B XOR C, that means we are having 3 inputs, and for this we are solving out that we are getting 4 minterms. So according to the note, if we are having a cross check that with 3 inputs, we are having 2 raised to 3 minus 1, that means 4 minterms. So if the question rise that A XOR B XOR C XOR D, the number of minterms are, so directly we can say according to the 2 raised to n minus 1, that is the number of minterms are 8, instead of solving like this, right? So that is our second note of XOR. Right. Next point is our minimum number of NAND gates required. Minimum number of NAND gates required. Everyone on the board, please. Minimum number of NAND gates required for the XOR. The answer is 4. The circuit is, we are having a input AB, that is the implementation of XOR gate by using NAND gate. Here we are having A B bar, at here we are having A dot B bar, right? For this NAND we are having AB bar, and from here we are having A. So for this NAND, that is A B bar, right? For this NAND we are having AB bar dot A complete bar. After simplification, we are having applying De Morgan's, we are having A bar plus AB. We are having A bar plus AB, and A bar plus AB, that means A bar plus B. A bar plus AB, that means A bar plus B, right? For this one, we are having B dot AB bar whole bar, B dot AB bar whole bar, AB bar B, B dot AB bar whole bar. After simplification by using De Morgan's, we are having B bar plus AB. B bar plus AB is equals to B bar plus A. B bar plus AB is equals to B bar plus A. So finally we are having A bar plus B at here and A plus B bar at this position, right? So the output of this NAND gate will be A bar plus B dot A plus B bar. After the XOR, we are covering that we will cover XNOR gate. Right? And for the XNOR, when we will cover the XNOR, for the XNOR we are having the SOP expression. For the XNOR, we are having a SOP expression, that is A bar B bar plus SOP expression is A bar B bar plus AB, right? That is our minterms, and the minterms are at 0 and 3, 0 0 1 1. When the minterms are at 0 3, our maxterms are at 1 and 2. So for the 1 we are having expression 0 1. 0 1 means A plus B bar. For the 2 we are having the expression 1 0. 1 0 means A bar plus B. 1 0 means A bar plus B, right? For this one we are having A plus B bar. For this one we are having A bar plus B. A bar plus B, right? So for this one, in this way we are having a POS expression for XNOR. We are having a POS expression for XNOR, that is A plus B bar dot A bar plus B, right? While we are covering the XNOR gate, I will cover it again, right? But for that instance, we can say that that is our POS expression for XNOR. So that is our POS expression for XNOR. So after the end, after this circuit, the output will be A bar plus B, that A plus B bar. That is our XNOR. That is our XNOR. And XNOR is the complement of XOR. Right? So we are having a bubble also. So we are having A XNOR B complement, and XNOR is a complement of XOR, right? Or we can say XOR is a complement of XNOR. So while we are having complement of XNOR, A XNOR B, that is equals to A XOR B. That is equals to A XOR B. Complement of A XNOR B is equals to A XOR B. A XOR B. That means for the XOR gate we have a requirement of 4 NAND gates. We are having AB bar here. At the here we are having A dot AB bar whole bar, that is A bar plus AB. After the simplification we get A bar plus B. Same procedure for here. We are having B dot AB bar ka whole bar. After the simplification we are getting B bar plus AB, and that is B bar plus A. B bar plus A. And for XNOR gate we are having the expression SOP expression, that is A bar B bar plus AB. That means having the minterms 0 3. 0 3 are the minterms, then the maxterms are 1 2. For the maxterm 1 we are having A plus B bar, and for the 2 we are having A bar plus B. So that is our final expression. That is the complement of XNOR. That is our XNOR. That is the expression of POS expression of XNOR. So it is A XNOR B whole bar, and when we are getting A XNOR B whole bar, that is equals to A XOR B, because we know that XOR is the complement of XNOR, or XNOR is the complement of XOR. So we are having complement of XNOR, that is equals to A XOR B. The important thing that for the XOR we are having requirement of 4 NAND gates, but at this place if I am talking about the minimum number of NAND gates required for the XNOR gate, for the XNOR the answer will be, we are having a complement of XNOR at here, right? So if we want to expression of XNOR, so we have a requirement of to complement this expression, right? At this place we are having a complement of XNOR, so that is your XOR gate, right? So for the XOR we are having 4 gates, right? But if we are talking about for the XNOR, at same place, so for the XNOR we are having at this place we are having a complement of XNOR, A XNOR B whole bar. So if we want to getting the XNOR, so we have to complement this function, and for the complement we have a requirement of another NAND gate, right? So if we are talking about for the minimum number of NAND gates required for the XNOR, our answer will be 5 NAND gates. Our answer will be 5 NAND gates. Clear? So we will cover the minimum number of NAND gates required for the XNOR at the time of XNOR again, right? But at the same place we are covering the NAND gates for the XOR. So at that time I will cover also the XNOR, right? So finally, in this way we are having a requirement of 4 NAND gates for the XOR. Clear? Note it down. Now if we are talking about the minimum number of NOR gates required for the XOR, right? Minimum number of NOR gates required for the XOR. The answer is 5. The answer is 5. How we can implement the circuit? Have you completed this? So if we are talking about the minimum number of NOR gates required, minimum number of NOR gates required for the XOR, that is your 5. On the board, that is your A plus B bar. That is your A plus B bar. For this one we are having A plus B bar ka A plus B bar whole bar. That is, after the simplification we are getting A bar A plus B after applying the De Morgan's theorem, and when we applying a further simplification we are getting A bar B, right? A bar B at this point. For this point we are having B plus A plus B bar whole bar. B plus A plus B, after simplification we are having B bar dot A plus B. B bar dot A plus B. Further simplification we are getting B bar A at this point, right? So at this point we are having A bar B, and this point we are having A B bar. So at this point we are having A bar B plus AB bar whole bar. AB bar plus AB bar whole bar. And we know that A bar B plus AB bar, that is A XOR B. So at this place we are getting a complement of A XOR B. We are getting A XOR B, complement of A XOR B. And if we want to A XOR B, if we want an expression of A XOR B, so we have to remove this complement and to remove this complement, we have a requirement of another NOR gate, right? So at this point we are having a bar b plus ab bar whole bar, right? That is your expression of a XOR b whole complement. So if we want to achieve the a XOR b, so we have performing another NOR gate. So at this point we are getting a XOR b. Again for this NOR we are having a plus b whole bar. At this point we are having a plus b bar whole bar. After the applying De Morgan's theorem, we are having a bar dot a plus b, and after the simplification we are having a bar dot a, that is 0, a bar b, right? The same procedure for this one, we are having b plus a plus b bar, right? b plus a plus b bar ka whole bar, that is equals to b bar dot a plus b, b bar dot a plus b, right? And after the simplification we are getting b bar dot a, b bar dot b 0. So from here we are getting b bar a. So finally at the output of this we are having a bar b, for this one we have a b bar, and at the output of this NOR gate we are having a bar b plus a b bar whole bar, a bar b plus a b bar whole bar, a bar b plus a b bar, that is your a XOR b, that is your a XOR b. So finally we are getting complement of a XOR b, complement of a XOR b. And if we want to remove the complement of this, we have to complement it again, and we are adding a NOR gate to complement it, and after this we are getting a XOR b. So in this way for the XOR we have a requirement of 5 NOR gates, but at this place if we are talking about the XOR, minimum number of NOR gates required for the XOR, our answer will be 4, because at this place we are having complement of a XOR b, and complement of a XOR b, that is a XOR b, complement of a XOR b, that is a XOR b, means when we are covering that minimum number of NOR gates for the XOR gate in our upcoming gate, then our answer will be 4 directly according to this circuit, right? So from here we are getting that minimum number of NOR gates required for the XOR gate is 5, and minimum number of NOR gates required for the XNOR gate, that is 4, in this way. So in short, for the XOR gate, if we are talking about the NAND gate, our answer will be 5. If we are talking about the NOR gate, our answer will be 4. So 5 NAND, 4 NOR gates are required for the XOR gate. After the completion of all gates, means after the completion of XNOR gate, I am making a table that summarize the number of minimum number of NAND gates or minimum number of NOR gates required for each and every gate, right? And that is the important, right? So directly you have to remember the number of gates required, number of NAND gate or number of NOR gates required for the particular gate. Completed. We are having a note, next note in the XOR gate. We are having another note in XOR gate, that this one, that we are having a XOR a. If we are having a XOR a, that is equals to A XOR A, that is equals to 0, because for the same input XOR, output will be logic 0. If we are having A XOR A, that will be A XOR A 0, A XOR A 0, 0 XOR A, A XOR A 0, 0 XOR A. If we are having A XOR A, if we are having A XOR A, then the answer will be 0. That means if we are having A XOR A up to the n times, it is equals to 0 if n is even, is equals to A if n is odd, is equals to 0 if n is even, is equals to A if n is odd. That means if we are going to perform XOR of same inputs and that input occurs even number of time, then the output will be 0, and if that input occurs odd number of time, then the output is the same input. That means A XOR A up to the n times the input occurs up to the n times that n is even, the output will be 0. If the n will be your odd, then the output will be a same input, that is A. Right? That is also a important note for the questions. A XOR A up to the n times is equals to 0 if n is even, is equals to A if n is odd. Right, so that is the points about the XOR gate. Right, the important one, the notes that we are covered in the XOR gate, that notes especially help us in some of the questions of the XOR gate. Right, so questions based on the XOR. Question based on the XOR. You have to find out the output of this given circuit. Find out the output of this given circuit. The answer is simple, that we have X and X. For the XOR, we know that if we are having the same input, then the output will be at logic 0. The output is logic 0, and from here we are having X XOR 0. X XOR 0 is again, that is X, A XOR 0 A. So X XOR 0 X, and from here we are having an input at X. For the same input, the output is at logic 0. For the same input, the output is at logic 0. Clear? If our last note, according to our last note, that if we can write out the complete expression, then we are having X XOR X at this place. We are having X XOR X at this place. and after this again we are having a XOR with X, and again we are having a XOR with X, right? X XOR X, XOR X, XOR X. So finally we are having same inputs, and the same inputs occur at 1 2 3 4 even number of time, and for the even number of time we are having the output that is directly 0. So for this question I think the sufficient time is maximum 5 seconds, like this. Instead of solving like this, we can directly approach it by this note, that we are having even number of inputs, and for the even number of inputs directly we are having an output that is 0, right? In last note we are talking about the number of inputs instead of number of gates, right? At last note the n is our number of inputs, not a number of gates. So at here we are having 3 gates, and the inputs for the XOR we are having in the case of XOR we are having a one input, one extra input as compared to our gates, right? If we are having 3 gates, that the number of inputs at are 4. If we are having 4 gates, then the number of inputs are 5, right? Because for the first gate we are having 2 inputs, and the rest of the gates we are applying a single input, right? So for this question directly we are having 4 inputs, that means output is at logic 0. Clear? Next question. Find out the simplified Boolean expression for this given function, given expression. You have to find out the simplified Boolean expression for this one. A XOR B XOR AB. A XOR B XOR AB. Find out the simplified expression for this one. I think you have an answer. A simple solution for this question will be, we are having AB, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. We are having AB, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. For the AB we are having 0 0 0 1. For the AB we are having 0 0 0 1, right? When we have a requirement to perform a XOR, right? That is our output. We know that for this output all are at logic 0 or are at logic 0. That means output is 0. Odd number of inputs, output is 1. Odd number of inputs, output is 1. Odd number of inputs, output is 1. Output is 1, right? So if we are observing that we are having the inputs A, B, and the output is this one, is, if I can write it out again, then for this one we are having this. Finally we are having this, right? For the input AB the output will be 0 1 1 1 1, right? So that is our y is equals to a plus b. That is our OR gate. 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1. So the simplified expression is y is equals to a plus b. So instead of solving such type of questions by using expressions, by using Boolean algebra, we have to solve it out by using this concept of odd function. And when you are dealing your solution with 0 1 in form of 0 1, there is a minor chance of the error, right? There is a minor chance of the error. Instead of there is a lot of chance in solution by using Boolean algebra, right? So in this way we have to solve it out by using simpler way, by using 0 1, and our answer will be a plus b according to this solution. Simply AB having 4 inputs combination 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. For this one we are having AB, that is 0 0 0 1. So when we are performing the XOR of these three even number, when we are having odd number of 1, the output will be at logic 1. So finally we are getting 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1. That is your OR gate. So answer is A plus B. Clear? So the important factor is this one, right? We have to we want to learn such type of way of solutions, right? And the note that we are having in our XOR topic that help us out to solving the problems based on the XOR in very effective way, in very less amount of time, without any complications, right? So that is our XOR gate. And while we are covering our next questions, first of all take a look of XNOR gate. So our next,
if you really like the video, please hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.